Welcome to all. In today's video, we are going to see about how to create an media player as an Android mobile app by using our Eclipse ADT. So here ADT in the sense Android development tool. Why I am preferring ADT? Because this ADT will be more lightweight. Even a laptop with low-end configuration can able to run this Android Eclipse, and they can easily able to check the Android app by using the emulator itself, right? So I'm just preferring Android Eclipse ADT tool to develop the simple mobile app in Android, right? And today's class we're going to see about how to create an media player mobile app in Android using Eclipse ADT tool, right? So let me directly go on to the demonstration. And this is my Eclipse environment, and this is my emulator, and here I just already started my emulator in order to avoid time consuming. So I just started the emulator. It is ready for demo. So let me directly create a new project in our Android Eclipse. So for creating a new project, you have to go to file menu, new Android application project, then you have to give the application name. So here I am going to give my application name as media player, right? Media player demo. This is my application name. Your project name and package name will be automatically fetched from your application name. Then I am going to choose my minimum required SDK as Jelly Bean, which is Android 4.1, and I am going to have my target SDK as Android 4.4, which is a KitKat version. Then you can click on next. So I am not going to change any setting in this wizard. So you can go to next wizard. Again, I am not going to change anything. With the blank activity, I am going to create the app. So no need to change any setting in this wizard also. Click next, then click finish. Right? So our project is loading in our Eclipse. So you can able to know the status of your Eclipse at the bottom right corner. So now our environment is ready to develop our app, right? So here the project has been opened with the default blank activity with the hello world text view, and this is my Java file, right? Since this hello world text view is not necessary for us, we can delete this one, right? We can delete this one. Here I'm going to delete this one. Yes. Now I'm going to save this. Now you have to write the business logic for creating a media player. So it is a known fact that in order to create a media player, we need some audio file, right? So before start writing business logic for our media player, we have to load any type of an audio file into our project. So in order to load that audio file, you have to follow some procedure. So I am just telling that procedure. Please note down. Under RES folder, which is a resource folder, you have to create one subdirectory with a name called raw, right? So in order to create a subdirectory, just right click on that RES folder, then go to new menu, then create new folder. Just to give your folder name as RAW, raw folder, right? So the folder has been created. Hope you can able to see this. Then you have to paste any one audio file into this subdirectory raw. So for that, I just already having one audio file in my desktop. I am going to copy this audio file, right? I am going to copy this audio file and I am going to paste it into my raw folder. I am going to paste it into my raw folder. See, now the file has been successfully placed into my raw folder. So one of the constraints to name your audio file is that your audio file name should follow some naming convention, Java naming convention, which means it should start with a small letter. It should have only small letter alphabets. It can have a numerical mixed with numerical numbers, and it can have a special character as an underscore. These are all only the allowed symbols and allowed characters and numbers in your audio file, right? So accordingly you have to name your audio resource file. So with this we have successfully loaded the audio file into our project. Now we can start writing our business logic. So here as a basic media player, I am going to place only three buttons in my media player mobile app. So my first button will be a play button, and my second button will be a pause button, and my third button is for stop. So we know that the play button, in this sense, it is used, it will always play any audio song from the beginning. Then pause button, in this sense, it will make the media player to pause at the current time, right? Again, if you are going to click the pause button, then it will make the audio file to be played from the last current time. Then your stop button will entirely stop the media player. Once the stop button is pressed, then you are going to click the play button, in this sense, again it will play from the beginning of the file, beginning of the timeline, right? So in order to place your buttons into your activity, I am going to change my activity layout into an absolute layout. So for that, just right click on your activity and click the menu called change layout. Then you can able to select your layout as an absolute layout. Then click OK, right? Just drag and drop three buttons into your activity. So this is my first button, right? And this is my second button, right? And this is my third button. Okay, fine. So these are all the three buttons I just placed. So my first button is for play. My first button is for playing. So here I have to here you have to give your variable name as bt1, and I am going to give my variable value as play, right? Then click OK. So the first button name has been fixed. Similarly, you can change the name of your second button. Right click on your button, choose edit text, then new string bt2, right? Then pause. Click OK, fine. Then your third button, right click on your button, edit text, then new string, then bt3, then stop. Okay, yeah. So with this, the three buttons has been named successfully. Now according to this name, you have to assign some task to this button. You have to assign some task to this button. So let me write the business logic for this button by using our Java file. Now go to your main activity.java, and this Java file will contain already auto created stub will be there. So in this auto created stub, we need only the on create method. The remaining methods, say for example on create option menu, on option item selected, these two methods are not necessary as of now for this project. So I am going to delete those coding in order to avoid the unnecessary confusion. So this is the only method we are in need for this project, right? Now you have to create the necessary Java class objects. First of all, just to create the Java class objects for your button, which is bt1, bt2, then bt3. These are all the three buttons. Then you have to create the object for your media player, right? You have to create the object for your media player. Yeah, so here my media player object is empty. Now you have to map this button object with the UI component by using the find view by id. So find view by id r dot id dot then button 1. So here it is appearing in my help menu. Just to select the appropriate button name from the help menu, right? So button 1, then still it is showing the error, which can be removed by adding the typecast, which can also be fetched from the quick fix available in your pop-up menu. So here I am going to use the quick fix option called add cast to button. So just to click this. With this, the error has been resolved. Similarly for your button 2, find view by id, right? R dot id dot then button 2, right? Then semicolon. Similarly, you have to resolve the error by using add cast to fix. Then bt3 equal to find view by id r dot id dot then button 3, right? Then semicolon. So with this, the three button objects has been associated with the respective UI component, right? Now you have to associate each of this button with the set on click listener callback method, because once the button is clicked in my activity, once the button is any one of this button is clicked in my activity, then it have to do some task. That task should be written as a business logic, and that too inside your on click event method. So before that you have to associate this button object, each button object, with the set on click listener callback method. So set on click listener new view, you have to override the anonymous method called on click listener method. So inside that on click listener method, an override callback method called on click method will be auto generated. Now you have to write your own business logic inside this on click method. You have to write your own business logic inside this on click method. So what is our business logic? First of all, you have to check whether the media player object is having any resource or not, which can be checked by using if logic. If MP not equal to null, right, which means media player object not equal to null. In the sense, our media player object is holding some resource, so you have to make that resource to be released, and you have to make your media player object to be free. How we can do that? Simply by using some methods, predefined methods, mp dot release, then mp dot reset, right, mp dot reset. These are the two methods which can use it to release the resource and which can use it to free our media player object. Now mp equal to, which means now you have to assign new resource to your media player object by using a statement called mp equal to media player dot create. So there are three override methods will be there. You can use the first one, right? So first one, get application context, then resource ID will be your the audio file resource ID. So how you can fetch your audio file resource ID? R dot raw dot then kln underscore ringtone dot to. So here one of the important point you have to note that everything should be fetched from the help menu. Please don't type your own coding. If the help menu doesn't show the respective resource in the sense, then there is some error while creating the resource, or we can say that resource file name is not properly updated in your resource file. So you have to get into that, then only you can able to write this syntax, right? Then your next statement, mp dot start. So that's all the coding for your play button. Now let me execute this app and check whether there is any error or not. So you have to, in order to debug this app, just right click on your project folder, root directory of your project folder, then run as, then Android application, right? You can able to watch at the bottom of your screen. So here showing launching workspace KLN media player, which is launching in your emulator. So we have to wait until it is launching, until it is launched in our emulator. Yeah, the player has been successfully loaded in our emulator. Now we have written the coding only for our play button alone. So let me click this play button and check whether our app is working or not. It is working fine. Now you have to write the coding for remaining buttons. So in order to write the coding for remaining buttons, you have to follow the same procedure, which means b2 dot set on click listener. Sorry, please wait. bt2 dot set on click listener, right? Then new view dot on click listener of, which will have the override method called on click. You have to write your own logic inside this. So how to do that again? So you have to write your own logic here. In order to have logic for pause button, your coding will be like this. If mp dot is playing, you are going to check whether our media player object is currently playing any resource or not. If it is so, then you have to use your method called mp.pause. If it is not playing any file in the sense, then you can use your method called mp.resume, right? mp.play, right? mp.start. So that's all about your coding for pause button. Now let me check this pause button by debugging this app. So right click, run as Android application project. It is loading. We have to wait until the app is being launched. Yes. So now you just check the task of play button. Yes, the pause button also working. If I am going to click the pause button again, it is playing from the current time, not again starting from the beginning. The pause button is playing from the current timeline. It is not starting from the beginning of the file button. Similarly, bt3 dot set on click listener of new view dot on click listener of, then you have to write your business logic inside the override callback method called on click. So here also the same thing. If mp not equal to null, then mp dot stop, right? If mp not equal to null, then you have to perform mp dot stop. Now let me run this app again. So play. Is playing. Stop. The player. Yeah. So if I am going to click the play button, now I am going to click the pause button. The player has been stopped. Now I am going to click the stop button. Now I am going to click the play button again. Now the error has been resolved. So first of all, let me show you the output. Then I will say what correction I did in my coding. Just to see, now I am going to click the play button. Now I am going to click the pause button. The functionality has been paused. Now I am going to click the pause button again. So pause button is working fine. Now I am going to click the stop button, which means the resource which is being stored in my media player object will be erased, right? So I'm going to click the stop button now. Yes. Now I'm going to click the play button again. So all the functionality of the media player buttons have been implemented successfully and it is working fine. Now let me show you what changes I did in my coding. The changes is done for my play button alone. The changes have been done for my play button alone. What I did in the sense, I just interchanged the position of these two coding, right? Before, the error was due to the coding that I just used the mp.release method before to my reset method. Okay, so this is the reason why we have received a debugging error at the time of execution. So I just resolved it by simply swapping, right? First of all, you have to make the MP object to be resetted by using reset method. Then only you have to release the resources stored in your MP method. So this is the way you can able to resolve that runtime error, right? So with this I have demonstrated the media player app creation in Android by using the Eclipse ADT2. So thank you all, and let me see you all in the next video with some more Android app, right? Thank you all.